so again, we're going to this drill. He's going to take turns hitting at that hand, okay? And I am yielding and disturbing. So it's not enough that I just let him not hit me. He goes and I have his balance. Then it's not enough that I don't let him hit me and I have his balance by externally pushing. So boom, you see, I try to be relaxed and I try to let his energy do it, okay? So this isn't going to be good enough. I'm trying to relax. If your nage is always on the outside, try to get on the outside. If they're always on the inside, try to get to the inside, okay? So that you're always working. And then be relaxed, like emotionally. And I would recommend you don't throw them every time. You're just wasting time on your rep cycle. So I tend to just do little displacements. Okay. So it's not really a skill where understanding does anything to you. Although, if you don't understand what you're seeing, then your mind dismisses it as fake, because you don't know what you're seeing. So, let me give you some context here. So, there is an agreement in that he has a target selection. It's the upper thoracic cavity, okay? That's where I want to experience this, okay? So when he goes and I reach contact, you do understand the parry. Everyone does. Like, that's what stops it from hitting. But you don't understand how that connects to his center, okay? So the first way it connects to his center is that it does not contest even in its parry. So he goes, and I'm not going like that. I did stop that from hitting me, but I was not able to use his energy in a kind of extension and a movement of his center. So I do come up, and I do make it miss me, but it has an inertia that's going straight. And I'm going to use that inertia at such a rate and at such a vector that I do not stop him from coming in, and that I do not lose connection with his hand. So I just am gently extending it, extending it, and extending it. So this is different. So extend. Now, the third element is an internal aspect. That I match his energy value. So there's so much, there's a given amount of inertia on here, a given amount of trying to hit the target, a given amount of mass, a given amount of gravity, and I match that so that I create the namesake of your art, which is on Aiki adhesion. So if I move at a rate faster than his hand is going, I'm going to have a different inertia in this direction, a different inertia value than he has. And that's how you come off of it. But if I keep the same one, I can extend it. I also have, let's say he's doing that again, and I'm on the inside. So again, I might move the target this time, and I'll do it on the inside. And these little manipulations of his center are really, that was enough. In training you can go like this, but this is enough. That's enough versus nothing. So just enough. And this internal aspect is conjoined with another internal aspect, which is the yang version of that same one, which is the Kokyu one. So, for example, I'm going like this. He can feel this thing going, you see? And he's going to want to pull it back. And that helps generate more friction, but I stay with it, right? He wants to do that. So he feels his center going back. If he does not, or going forward. If he does not feel his center going back, he doesn't really pull back. He doesn't have to regain his balance. So when I get that inch and he pulls it back, I just stay with it, do you see? And that can bring me into my second aspect, as I aim that energy into his center again. So I have an inch there, he pulls, and then I push and I get the balance disturbance, okay? So let's say I go this way, he feels the push, you see? So he wants to come around. So he comes around and I do the same thing on the other side. In other words, if I stay here, he pulls back, that's what you see, and then the strike comes again, right? So, but because I stay with it, I can do it. And then you're like, why did he leave his hand there? His hand gets kind of pinned, you see? In the same way that when he feels his balance breaking, he pushes on me this time, and that's what allows the projection. But maybe he's smart and he yields, but I now stick with it. Again, if I go to push and he goes to bump, then that's when you see that connection. So it's not that he's leaving his hand on my hand, it's that I'm following his hand. I'm following his hand. So he went here, got a little extension of his center. He goes back, I go with it, I attack, he yields, I come around, and I come back the other way. So wherever he moves his hand, I just stay with it. Wherever he moves his hand, wherever he goes, I stay with it. It's not that he's staying with me, which is what contemporary Aikido does. I move my hand and Uke's job is to stick with me. That's not the skill. Okay? Now, it's a two-hand drill, so that makes it actually easier for me. So I went over here, let's say, he pulled it back, or he would have lost his balance. He absorbed this one, and maybe he comes for the second one. I do the same thing. I can do the same mixture. So this time as I go in an Aiki adhesion here, and he's trying to push here, I deflect it into the kazushi pattern, and that's why he falls again. Okay? So if I am going with one hand, then comes the other hand, it should be in such a way that it is capitalizing upon the other hand's kazushi pattern. Okay? So I don't want to go here, here, this one, these are not integrated. So the drill starts, he moves, I seek connection and center right away. So I press with the Kokyu aspect, he's going to do something. Oh, there he came in, and with these two hands, I'm doing the internal manipulation. I let the drill reset, but I don't lose contact with him, okay? Again, he might want to lose contact. It doesn't matter, I stay with him. So we'll do that one again. So he came forward, tried to free the hand by going back, and then boom, there it is right there. We'll look at it again. We did the same thing. He's coming around, and here it is right there. So what is there? I stuck with him as he's coming around. I push this out, get the front part of the front inward kuzushi, and then this one is the Kokyu projection. Boom, in this center. So boom, boom. There we go. Let's look at it again. So a lot of you, when you get to this point, you forget this hand. You lose the energetic harmonization. It's dead, even if it's touching. But instead, you're using it, you see? There's the Aiki adhesion on the left hand, and then the Kokyu projection on the right. Boom. Into the center. Never in his arms. Always into his center. Make him free his body. There it is. So we'll take that last one. He's coming around and he's coming around. You see? Here we go. So he's coming around, and boom, he's going to hit the Kokyu projection on his own without me having to push him. Just yielding him onto, whoa, right there. Just keep connection, follow his hands. See, he's got a lot of stuff on this hand going, and you guys tend to lose this hand. Don't lose this hand. You use this hand. This is why Kokyu-Ho is two hands. This is just Kokyu-Ho. So you're like, pull your arm off. Pull your arm off of my connection. There you go. You see? You're like, why can't he pull his arm off? Pull your arm off. You just follow it. So a lot of times you want it, your uke is trying to go back, right? So they're trying to get off of the stick. Well, that's the time to enter with your kokyu. Kokyu's yang. A lot of you he goes to enter and you're like, whoa, and now, oh, you lost connection. Instead, follow it in, boom. Okay, try it again. So he's got yokomen, he's got ski. We'll do jodan ski, okay? And he's got yokomen. Boom. Okay. So you can throw yokomen in the temple, the eye socket, or the karate. That doesn't matter. Okay. So same thing. He's going, and I'm going to do the same thing, and he's gonna keep trying these strikes. And again, that's going to be hard, right? So as he goes, I'm finding the connection. I'm not waiting here. Oh, jeez. So his hand goes and I already have it. Not waiting here. Boom. Not reacting. So seeking connection and then yielding and into the same projection. So he has to find it. Again, you're like, he does the ski, and he pulls his hand back, and you're like, why everyone pulls their hand back? everyone pulls their hand back because you leave your hand here, you see? If you go with him, then you don't lose connection. See connection again, up. And you're always going to see, he goes, your yield is here. Do you see that right there? Do you feel the tension? I'm going to take it away, do you see? And then here is the adhesion right there. Do you feel that? Just enough, so go back up. Rewind the film. Boom, boom, I was here. So I feel the pressure here, I yield, boom, and then here's the Kokyu. So come back. As his weight is coming forward into the Aiki adhesion, he's going to hit this ground pop, boom, pop. So some of you have like these double yang arms, okay? And you're confusing that with he goes, boom, boom. And that's a Kokyu projection into his center. So I'm not out here hyperextended and he goes and you're just fighting him, okay? It's here, boom, wow, there it is. Boom. You try and do those 3 strikes, there you go. So we'll do that one again. Now he's going 1. Here is the first yield. This hand's not really doing anything, so this one came back and did the Kokyu projection on its own. Into the center, into the center. So as close as I can get to standard Kokyu hold, a yin hand, an Aiki adhesion hand, a Kokyu projection hand, the yang hand, an outward spiral, an inward spiral, and the front inward kazushi, the better it's going to be. Oh, right there. Right here. Right there. Okay, let's go.